Well, well. It's a deep subject.
Yes, it can be.
Happy Tuesday. It's the 18th day of November, the 322nd day of 2025. Now go ahead and fact check it if you want to. I don't know what day of the year it is, other than it's the 18th-ish day of November. You're looking at the calendar up there, aren't you?
No, I was just thinking, why does the 18th of November sound familiar to me?
Because it came after the 17th. Back in 1969, on this date, 2 astronauts touched down on the surface of the moon. That was the second lunar landing. You all know about Neil Armstrong. You remember that name and everything. Who was who were the 2 astronauts? Well, Pete Conrad. It was his second space mission, one in which he was the mission commander of this lunar flight. Conrad was the third man to ever walk on the moon. He died in 1999. The fourth man was the lunar module commander of that particular mission. His name was Alan Bean. So I got a trivia question for you folks up there. You ready for this one?
Go with it.
The first man in space was... First American in space was... Oh, God, you don't even know that?
You know I don't do history. Like
Alan
I don't do
Shepard.
math. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Alan Shepard. I
happened
remember
in the
that.
early 60s, right? Yeah, right. Did you say yes?
Yes, it did.
So do either of you know why he was selected for that mission?
No, I do not.
Neither one of you?
No.
His name is Alan Shepard, right?
Right?
Well, it is written
Oh,
that a shepherd will lead you.
oh my God. I just knew it. I just knew it. I knew it.
Got to be true. That's what one of my high school teachers told me way back when.
That was
And I
good.
think he read it on the internet.
That was good. Read it on the internet. Thank you for that moment in history.
Good morning. I'm
Here we
Rayford
are.
Brown.
And good morning, I'm Lee Barrows.
And I'm not Chris Marks. And Chris is not here. And you're not Chris Marks either. Chris is on a medical mission.
Yes.
Mhm.
One of those appointments.
Yeah, I got it.
But
And you are.
I am the donkey man's in the house.
Mhm.
The sexiest man on
Hello,
the county.
God.
Is that Bell?
Every time I hear it, I think it's God reaching down to say something.
He was laughing about the A
Hello,
Shepherd
God.
part.
What?
Is that yours?
They're letting me know Buddy Punch is down. I'm off today. Buddy Punch is what we clock in.
I
It's,
can buddy punch you if
I
you
can-
like. Bring me
yes,
that phone. I'll
yes,
show you how to
yes,
buddy punch
yes.
it.
You tried to buddy punch me already this morning.
no,
Locked me out of
It's
the
a mess.
studio.
I don't try to do anything. If I am going to do it, you will know it for
Oh,
when you wake up. My. It is Tuesday. It is on the nippy side outside. Oh, whew, Claire, I almost screwed that one up.
It is.
It is kind of nippy out there this morning. It's right now at the studio 30 degrees. It was 31 when I showed up here at 5:30.
We had frost on the windshield.
Mm-hmm. Any dew on the pumpkins?
I ain't got no pumpkin
You
this
don't?
year. No. The donkeys were all huddled up around the hay roll, though, along with the 4 does that was standing there with them this
Oh,
morning.
really?
Oh, yeah. They go.
Oh, really?
They got green grass out there, but they'll hit that hay roll in the middle of the
really?
night. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They sit right there.
I'm you know,
They don't even move anymore
yum
when I
yum,
pull up.
yum. Can you dress one out?
I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
That's why I quit deer hunting. I got
That's
tired
the
of
whole
skinning them
problem
out.
with all that hunting and fishing stuff.
It
You
is.
got to clean it up.
Well, see, back when I was coming up and I was a young boy and all that mess, the old folks would kill a deer and we would run out there and we'd skin him. And then I got older and we let the young boys do it. And then
Then the young boys
didn't want to do it either.
They don't know how to do it.
So,
Whatever.
you know, and I figured up my deer meat one time, how much it was costing me. And
Yeah, but you can't buy anything that good. Today, you try to find some beef out there. First of all, hamburgers $6 a pound.
whatever.
And
And
that is like 18% is fat.
I had a guy.
I get the 93%, and I pay about $1 more, but
I'm going to post something later on today. I made some bacon and grits a couple mornings ago, And it's good, but the bacon looked really good. I bought it at a big box place. And when I took a picture of the bacon.
I'm afraid to even look.
It looks pretty good, doesn't it? That looks all right to you?
Yeah. And that's just half of what used to come in the package.
No, that's a few slices off of it, but that's actually what it looks like in the package after the little wrapper covers up this part here. This is a slice of bacon here on the surface, right?
Which looks good, and then you peel that off.
No, that slice of bacon.
Right.
How much bacon do you see? If there's all this white stuff ain't bacon.
I know it. Okay? I know it.
That's the blubber, aka fat.
Right. That's the good part.
And then you peel it back, get a little wider shot, and then this is the fat that I cut off 4 slices of bacon.
That's what I do.
That's the fat from 4 slices of bacon.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we saw it. That's what I do. And by the time you do that,
that's what's left of 4 slices of bacon.
Well, so you're better than I wouldn't even cut the fat off.
I know that, but I did it for a purpose.
I know.
Yeah, when it's real fatty like that, I cut it off too.
I melted it down, and not just what I'm taking to have my car serviced with. It's cheaper than the oil. No, it's not either. Not it's $18 a pound or whatever they charge me for that mess. I'm like, really? Mm-hmm. That is bait and switch there. I mean, they baited me with the what? Look, that's 4 slices of bacon.
That's how they do it.
You spend more money and get lean, but you'll spend it. No, you'll spend it.
Well, but I would get more product.
Yeah, you would, but you'll spend it.
Uh-huh.
Well,
it takes a pound of bacon to get me enough bacon to have for breakfast.
Right.
If I trim the fat off.
Right. You've got to cook the whole pack.
Yeah, pretty much.
When I went to the store last week, and I'm not paying close to $7 for bacon that's mostly fat. Yeah. So I bypassed it. But I will tell you, I found a sirloin roast that was marked down really good because it was nearing the date.
Just dust the stuff off of it from the floor.
I took it out yesterday and chopped it up into cubes and made the best pot roast stew.
That's the way to do it. Don't go buy that stuff's already pre-done.
Right.
You can buy chunks of meat. You can cut it up and then stir fry it a little bit and then put it in the pot and let it cook.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what, it
makes it more better.
Much more better. I have enough for tonight and probably tomorrow.
Not a whole lot of news out there. Well, there is. I don't consider it as newsy as a lot of y'all do.
Today's the day.
Of what?
The U.S. House is going to vote on whether to release the Epstein files.
Convicted and dead, Jeffrey Epstein's sleazy lifestyle is still near the top or at the top of political rantings from politicians on both sides of the aisle. First thing that they've agreed on is it, and then they got to watch out. I managed to include 3 versions of the word political in what I just said.
Yes.
In that one sentence that should serve to neuter most any argument when those tossing about allegations start making claims against those from the other political party. There are arguments and counter arguments with claims that most anyone whose name has ever been in the limelight had sleazy relationships of some sort or another with the chief sleazeball's stable of women. Seems now that some folks are feeling slighted that no one has connected them to Epstein.
What?
Paris Hilton.
Oh,
bless her heart.
Oh, bless her.
Has seen fit to use the most often used response to questions in a courtroom when a witness doesn't want to answer a question. I don't recall.
Yep.
Some so-called docuseries a few years ago apparently hinted that Epstein's chief pimp, girl Bud Maxwell, tried to bring the virginal Hilton into the mix. That was in 2019. It either didn't happen, Paris doesn't want to admit that it happened, or it was so insignificant that if it did happen for one reason or another, she doesn't remember. But 5 years after that production, she's seen fit to seek headlines about it. She said, I don't know nothing. Whatever. Okay, can I fess up now? Do I need to fess up? Probably.
Go ahead.
Back in the day, I need to talk about my connection to Epstein. Purely platonic. On several occasions, I boarded a boat in St. Thomas, down there in the no longer Virgin Islands. High atop a hill, there sat the house. Others aboard the same boat got a little quiet, somewhat nervous as we passed it. Perhaps because they were not important enough to warrant an invitation to visit. I wasn't nervous and I wasn't quiet. Everyone looked at each other to see who was going to say something first. There was nervous laughter. I sat quiet for a while, and my quietness seemed to draw a lot of attention. But still, I didn't say a word. Up in that house on the hill, I was watching. And to this day, I will continue to remain silent.
All righty then.
Except for Mr. Samuel Morris and his stuff. I said nothing. I haven't said anything since then. Whatever happened or not at that house on the hill shall remain at that house on the hill, and that's my story.
Well, one thing I want to say
Did I
about
create any
it.
doubts in your mind?
Well, the one thing I want to say is, so you want to take Jeffrey's rants and ravings on paper and email and put any faith into what he's saying is the truth? I mean,
This guy's a born again liar.
he's such a liar. And from the emails I've seen him referring to Trump, it sounds more like he was mad at Trump because, Trump kicked him out of the White House or
Yes.
kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, wherever.
He was at a place that he owned somewhere.
Yes. And it sounded like he was just talking doo-doo about him. Did it say in those emails, yes, I supplied Trump with women and blah, blah. Would you believe any of that?
Well, here's a good one for you.
Don't know.
You ever heard of Larry Summers?
I don't
No,
know.
you haven't. But,
No.
well, he was in contact up until a week or so, about the time that Epstein was convicted and sent away back in 2019. He was in contact with him, had been for years. Larry Summers is the former Harvard president, the president of Harvard University, the president, the head dude, okay? And he maintained communications. He hasn't said anything because he knew his name was hiding there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's announced that he will step back from public comments and no commitments, according to the Ivy League College's student newspaper. In a statement released Monday to the Harvard Crimson, Summers said he was part of an effort to rebuild trust and repair relationships with the people closest to me. In other words, you didn't tell your wife. The announcement follows the release of 7 years' worth of correspondence between Summers and the guy known as Epstein. Congress started releasing some of that stuff already. Yeah, buddy. The document showed the two men continued to exchange messages as late as July 5th, 2019, which was just one day before Epstein's arrest on new sex trafficking charges. And the hundreds,
Go figure.
do you have emails to hundreds of emails to the same person that you're not in normal close contact with? I mean, like, I know you exchange emails with a lot of people, but hundreds of emails over 7 years to somebody that you may not even really know.
No.
I mean, other than the bank and, bills and stuff like that.
No.
Among those messages, he looked like he trusted Epstein and confided to him about his pursuit of a romantic relationship with a woman he described as a mentee. What in the name of hell, heaven is a mentee? Do you know? M-E-N-T-E-E. You're going to look it up for me, aren't you?
M-E-N-T-E-E.
You don't think I know, do you? Why did I bring attention
Should
to
be
it?
an adjective.
Something to do with mentoring? A person who is advised, trained, or counseled by a mentor. That's what I have
A
here.
mentee. Like a trainer and a trainee.
Oh, then it goes into
He was a
Harvard's.
mentor and she was his mentee.
Oh, here's the story right here with Larry Summers. It said Harvard's slutty professor used vile slur in Epstein emails. What? Over a young Chinese female.
Among the released
Okay, go
messages
right
is one from November of 2018 in which Epstein describes himself as Summers' wingman.
Oh, yeah.
Wingman, as he continued advising Summers on the relationship for a lot of months to come, until July the following year, when he had the handcuffs placed on him and he went away. I'm deeply ashamed of my actions and recognize the pain they have caused. Is what Summers wrote in his statement to the newspaper, the student newspaper at Harvard. Why didn't you just shut up?
Yeah, really.
Should have shut up years ago.
Right.
I take full responsibility for my misguided decision to continue communicating with Mr. Epstein. Why did you ever start? Why did you start communicating with him? To brag that you got this, maybe a foreign exchange student at Harvard who's your mentee and you're her mentor, that you had a thing for her?
15 minutes of fame, I guess. I don't know.
You should have just kept quiet. And then
Yep.
In his professional life, he's a senior fellow at the think tank Center for American Progress, a paid columnist with Bloomberg News, and a board member at OpenAI. It's special out there, y'all.
open.
Do you think he's alone?
Nope.
How many more people are there out there?
Lots.
Listen, this stuff with presidents and whatever goes way back, and it goes back before the days of the most infamous wandering eye and gentleman in the White House.
Yep.
Who was that? Who am I talking about there?
Bill.
Oh no, way before him.
Go back before Bill.
Say the question
In the
again.
60s. Early 60s, babe.
I missed part of the question then.
Kennedy
Kennedy.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
and his brother Robert.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, don't forget,
okay.
Don't forget.
I'm still
Don't
in.
forget Teddy.
Well, Teddy was doing his own thing
Yeah.
out there,
But yeah, don't forget Teddy.
double teaming.
What was the old poem that once was a senator from Mass?
yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a family show. We can't tell you all of it.
But it started way back before then, Let's go back to Eisenhower when he was a general out there. His Jeep driver was a female.
Yeah.
Female, young enlisted personnel. I think she was a private, but I'm not sure. That became well known that she was chauffeuring by day and,
Whatever.
Chauffeuring in that.
Tucking him in at night. Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh.
Yeah.
But anyway, this professor retired, former president. He remains a professor at Harvard and serves as director of some kind of center. Mosavar Romani Center for Business and Government at the Harvard Kennedy School, which he will continue to oversee. Folks, sleaze runs really deep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sleaze amongst
Sleaze
billionaires
run
and
really
millionaires.
deep. It doesn't matter whether you're millionaire,
No,
billionaire.
I'm just
you get
saying
the publicity. You got sleaze walking around
Well,
here every day.
This
Doesn't
is
matter.
my thoughts on the whole thing.
We got sleaze on people that we know very well
One question for
in
you.
elected positions in this county.
One question for you, and this is where my thoughts
Yeah.
are with this. If the Democrats are pushing so hard today to have those files released, why didn't they push hard to have them released when Joe Biden was president?
Joe Biden couldn't have found Jeffrey Epstein. Okay.
What
Now,
I'm just
let's go
trying to
look-
say
let's
is,
go look for Hunter. I don't think Epstein would have even stooped to Hunter's level to acknowledge him. Do you understand that?
well, the thing about it is, and so therefore, no matter what is released, if I'm looking at it and I'm reading files, do I know that's what the files actually said? Do I know, did they use AI or go in there and change some of this stuff? I don't trust any of it. So therefore, whatever. Unless they have videos of that person.
I've already been through one glass of this liquid refreshment this morning.
Phew, I know it. I was like, oh, Tim brought us
This is
some
the second
sausage
glass. No,
biscuits
he
this
brought us
morning.
something from the other side of Hades.
And they were very, very good, but they had a little bit of pepper flakes in them. And when we got down towards the end, we were like, oh.
You know, I wouldn't have bit off as much as I did if I had known that at one end of it was loaded. You
I know.
understand?
And those things I'm allergic to, so I'll probably come in tomorrow with my face all broke out. But it was so good.
Yeah, he was.
Sometimes
it
you
was
just have to
tasty,
partake.
But I had to bring a spare now just in case.
Yeah. I had one this morning. The sausage wraps at the Piggly Wiggly are pretty good.
They are very good.
Sometimes
I
the
really enjoyed
sausage
it.
is hot.
The
Sometimes it's not.
bread was really good, very flavored, and but
It's flavored.
It started out as bread. It ended up
Right.
as toast by the time it got here.
Yeah.
Toasted from the inside out.
No, that's a
It's
kind
good
of
stuff.
that was kind of sausage I really like the way they fried it or whatever. It was really good.
I was having trouble earlier last night with sinuses. I mean, I don't have any.
I know
trouble
we were
with sinuses
crying
right
earlier.
now.
We were like,
My
wow.
eyes have got saline coming out of my eyes instead of putting it in. Now it's coming out, dripping out.
Yeah, on the weekends,
Feels
I
good.
usually have a sausage wrap, and I'll take the wedges and put a little white gravy on them. And
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
If anyone has a Nexium,
I got 3 bottles up there.
Yeah, I took a Meprazole this morning before I went.
sure.
Okay, enough fun.
All right.
910-333-0137. No, it's not. 910-333-0139.
It's the sausage biscuit.
There was a 0137 that I did have a number one time in Wilmington for a business there. I think it was 37. It could have been
Talking about
27.
Wilmington, it took me an hour just to get to I-140 from Raleigh Street last night.
Oh my.
I
Whoa.
don't know what happened in Carolina
going
Beach. Everybody was leaving, I guess, but
It was a
it was
hoy-toy.
terrible.
Hoy-toy was
It might
again.
have been a hoy-toy or-
Yeah. God.
But I've never seen it that time. And
It used to be summertime. If we wanted some video of people coming in for tourism, we just want to do a live shot somewhere.
Right.
We'd go to the overpass there on 132 and look up towards College Road, North College Road, towards where I-40 was dumping its trailer. The number of cars and trucks coming in with boat trailers and boats and coming in for the weekend. Friday afternoon, beginning about noon. So business was no longer in existence in Raleigh. It was all headed to Wrightsville Beach, Carolina Beach, Cary Beach, and points south.
Yep. Well, the bad thing about Front Street, a lot of them will take the truck route on 421 to come
good
in.
luck.
And you got 3 tracks. 2 of them are active. So any tanker that comes through there has got to stop twice. And
It's not that the trains are going by.
No,
it's
you
that the
got to
tankers got to stop at the railroad, like school buses used to do. I don't know whether they still do it or not.
do.
We used to have to stop and open the door and look both ways. I'm like, okay, whatever. And take off in a breakneck speed of 35 miles an hour.
Yes,
Traffic.
Blowing the dust off the wheels.
Anyway, the whole deal with the with Epstein and company and all the stuff that's going around, there's no telling what we're going to hear. How much of it is going to be true? I don't know. There are going to be people. They're going to say, "Oh yeah, he didn't mention me, but I was in there." It's going to be. I was there. I was at his house. I went by his house right down there, the Virgin Islands. Well, I did. And
Did you stop? You stop?
I was on a ferry boat, not that kind of a ferry boat.
That works out, don't it?
What? Say what?
Yeah.
You do that too good.
Hi.
What?
Which one of you was that?
Mhm.
I'm blaming him.
Anyway, y'all got anything good to talk about? Go ahead and do that. Does Congress not have enough to keep themselves busy?
Well,
They've got to spend so much attention on Epstein. He's dead. He's been dead for years.
well, you
What are
know,
you going to do about whatever you uncover?
and I know even longer than Epstein, JFK has been dead for a very long time.
You had
It's a
you had
release.
4 years during the Biden administration that he would have opened the kitchen door for you and any cupboards that were available. He would have opened
That's
whatever
my
you
whole
asked
point.
him to do.
And do you know if they had
Why didn't you do
damaging evidence against Trump in those files back during those 4 years? It would have already been out.
it should have been out if that's what they wanted. They had the opportunity during 4 years to bury Donald Trump if
Right.
indeed anything of what they're saying has any serious ring of truth to it.
Well,
Now, do I think he's an angel? Absolutely not. That boy doesn't have wings. That's why he's got a helicopter. He cannot fly on his own. He ain't never going to be able to fly on his own. Okay.
well, let me tell you,
So
I'm sure Donald Trump's been around a
neither
lot of
can I,
things.
nor you, nor probably a whole bunch of people that we know can't fly. They ain't going to ever develop wings.
Well, River, how many times have you been friends with somebody that kind of like towards the end of the friendship, things started going a little awry? You started finding out stuff about this person that, I don't think I really want to associate with that
In my
person
former
anymore.
profession, what do you think?
Yeah, well, that's the whole point I'm making. It doesn't mean that you were guilty
Nope.
by association, but people are so quick.
Mhm.
I've had people tell me, you really shouldn't be friends with so-and-so because
Yeah, I
you
hear that all
you
the time.
are who you
We mentioned a couple of those
run
this
around
morning
with.
prior to the show.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, we talked about a couple of
People.
female individuals
Yes.
this morning, and we know about them.
Right.
We know stuff.
Right.
Okay.
I have some very close friends that like to stir up
Yes, they do.
the dust, but that doesn't mean
they live in glass houses, and they need to be really careful.
well, we all.
We all live in glass houses. Go ahead.
So I keep my doors locked.
High pressure has moved over our coastal waters. The winds that we had to weaken a bit. Thank goodness. Will impact area waters tonight. Lighter winds. The next chance of elevated winds, I like what they call elevated. The next chance it's going to get brisky outside comes this weekend, just in time for those with offshore fishing desires. They'll probably need to change. Out to 20 nautical miles today. Northerly winds 5 to 10 knots. Becoming southeasterly this afternoon. Seas around 2 feet. Nice. Sounds and rivers a light chop, becoming flat
I'm not doing it.
in the afternoon. Southwesterly winds tomorrow. I was having to take a
Yeah. Yeah.
because of the sausage. It was getting hot.
Uh-oh.
Southwesterly winds tomorrow 10 to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 in the afternoon. 2 to 3 footers. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon. Thursday, easterly winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 feet, nothing. Sounds and rivers a light chop.
Today, sunny with a high near 66, light and variable wind. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 47. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 75. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 72. And let's go ahead and talk about Friday. It's getting even better now, more
Yep.
better. Partly sunny with a high near 78 and lows dropping to 59. So
yes.
it looks like a beautiful night for football. Of course, we're going to check it every day and see what happens. And now,
Keep your eye on the midnight hour.
that's right. Right now, it is showing.
And if it starts moving closer up to the end of the ball game, think about umbrellas.
Well, the thing about it is right now, Saturday is showing a 55% chance of rain.
Right.
We have the Christmas parade, but the rain's not supposed to come in till the afternoon. But we're
Mhm.
going to keep a watch on all
Keep
that
our watch out.
because everything could change. It could be
Yeah, it could.
2 inches of snow on
Could be a
Saturday.
flotilla instead of a Christmas parade.
Because you know how things change.
And the flotilla, as far as I know, is scheduled for the first Saturday in February. Yeah,
February?
that'd be real early. First
That'd be really
Saturday in
good.
December.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, yes.
We'll keep you up to speed
You
on
going
that.
to put a
Sometimes-
boat in it
Nope.
this year?
No. Exactly what can be uncovered on this Epstein stuff that's going to shock you? Is there anything that will shock either one of you that would be uncovered, that could be uncovered?
Not really.
Huh?
I mean, we've heard enough about it.
Did Donald Trump inadvertently see Nancy Pelosi with or without her husband at the house on the hill
Sure.
while he was there? Do you think maybe she was there? Did Chucky Schumer land on top of Bernie Sanders when he bailed out of a window at the house on the hill when Pocahontas pitched her wigwam in the middle of the living room of the house on the hill?
What?
You won't even go there, will you?
No,
I
it just
know,
made me
so
think
sad.
of
We
a
have
local doctor.
100,000 Americans dying every year from opioid overdoses in this country.
Yep.
What is more important? What's more important? those millions of people in the United States who are not legally entitled to be here. We have politicians fighting over a budget that will give the government of the people they claim to represent the power to steal even more money from every taxpayer in this country. Much of that money is not going to keep the country going either. It's going to pay the expenses of those who are here illegally, and if not, to go directly to them, to go to the trouble, the effort to mount a campaign to take them, get them out of this country, which in the long run will be cheaper for us, but in the beginning and right now, it's expensive. They're doing things that they are pulled away from other jobs to do. FBI, ATF, all of the federal agencies are assisting Customs and Border Patrol
Right.
to rid this nation of something that previous administrations, and not just Joe Biden, but every one of them back to the beginning of probably Kennedy, have allowed. They allowed it because they didn't stop it. Some encouraged it. There's a difference. Some just didn't do anything about it. They didn't see it as a major problem. I mean, you got a few here, a few there. What's that big deal? We'll catch them. We'll send them back. No. When you don't do anything about it, then at some point in time, you are encouraging it. Right?
Right.
So it goes back to the beginning. Now, what are we going to do about it? Just let it continue? When you start out with 20 people in a week, and you double that the next week to 40 people,
1,000 a day. Yeah.
and then it gets into be the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands every week or month that goes by, that's when we really notice that we have a problem. The problem has been there since we had the first 10 to show up for over 1 week. But we didn't do anything about it significantly. Somehow somebody turned ahead. Somehow somebody said, it's not going to hurt. I could use the help at my house. How many politicians have been caught with illegals operating, doing their housework for them?
Yeah.
How many?
yeah.
How many did not pay them or pay taxes for them?
I think
Their
what-
share of the tax. You hire somebody. You pay somebody a salary, you have to take out money and you got to give it to the government.
Right.
And you have to take out their money and give it to the government
True.
and
True,
to
true.
unemployment.
Yep. You have to match it. Yep. Yeah. I remember having a business and having to pay all those taxes.
Yes,
Yep.
Oh, yes.
it happens. That's what you got to do. But how many are doing it? How many are still having illegals working for them?
Well, look at paying Medicare taxes, and you're on Medicare, and you got to pay a premium. you give Medicare taxes every
We
week.
have more than 100,000 Americans. This was last year's figures, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe earlier this year. 110 or 111,000 people dying of opioid overdoses, and most of those opioid overdoses are illegal drugs coming in.
Yep.
Most of the illegal drugs that are killing people that are coming in is called fentanyl.
Yep.
It's coming from one country, Mexico.
Yeah.
Now, Mexico is getting it from the rough product, the raw materials to do this. They're getting that from
China.
All of that's coming in. The guys in Mexico, the drug cartels, they've got laboratories there that would, put to shame research centers that we've got in this country. And they are stamping the only thing they're not doing is they're not weighing all the drugs real critically, because you got to be extremely precise with fentanyl to make it non-lethal.
Yeah.
But do they care? No. They're cheap. Fentanyl is cheap. It is really, really, really cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than those bullets that they used to kill that dude in South Carolina over the weekend. They could have done that with $1.50 worth. The bullets are over $1 a piece. They could have done it with $1.50 worth of fentanyl.
Yeah.
And they got plenty of it. They seized it. We got it. We got enough to kill. We've got enough in storage here to kill every American in this country if we wanted to do it today.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yes. Oh, yes.
We could eliminate Russia if we wanted to do it today, if we could get it into their systems.
Didn't they take out another boat yesterday or the day before?
Venezuelan?
Yes.
Yeah, they did it. over the weekend. They got one that I know
Right,
about.
right.
There are a lot of them that are being taken out that are small boats and stuff like that. We don't know about those anymore.
They're talking about going
they
into
just
the
suddenly-
Mexico area
they suddenly
next.
sink. Well, there's discussion about that, whether they already have or not. I can't say.
Well, yeah. Here's a PSA. If you're an illegal immigrant
Alien.
and you are traveling today, I would not go near Raleigh.
Oh, I think if you are illegal, the safest place you can be today is to head up to Raleigh.
Right.
If you're illegal, it'll save us the money
Right.
of having them looking for you because they're waiting.
ICE is starting today in Raleigh.
Good.
They were in Charlotte over the weekend, of course, and over
Took
130
a bunch of
arrests.
people off.
Over 130 arrests. So there you go. I want to change the subject a minute.
No.
I was watching the county commissioners meeting last night, and I got looking through the county's. We'll get back to that in a minute. Webpage, and I came across. You know how you get memories on Facebook?
Yeah.
Something will pop up that happened a couple years ago. Well, this.
I delete my memories.
Well,
I use a fake name.
Don't say it, Lee. Okay.
AI.
Well, I found a post that had popped up from March 11th, 2021, that the county had put out.
A year ago. That's
It's
a
5 years
year
ago. 5 years ago. All right. COVID-19 statistical update. This is for the county now.
It's still here, but it's getting less worse.
Listen to this. Since the Monday update, 87 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in Onslow County. In total, the county has reported 15,209 cases and 14,849 cases have been cleared. Our number of lives lost to COVID-19 remains at 137. Onslow County mourns their loss to our community and families. And it just with other
There's one county in this state during that 1 year period of time. 100 and how many did you say? 50? 150 people died.
137
137 people died
Right.
during that period of time.
Right.
How many of the? I don't want to beat COVID to death. Hopefully we
Right.
won't ever have it impact us
Right.
like these strains did to begin with. We've done a lot of research. The people that know how to do that kind of stuff, and hopefully they got it so it won't show its ugly head. In my lifetime, we're not going to have another pandemic. They're 100-year cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Phew, thank goodness.
The last one was
I could go
1920.
through another one.
So we had that. But 137 of those 137, back in the time when we were looking at these things, I was looking at them and others were looking at them too. Not to make light of it. These were people, not that they should have, because they should not have died, because they had other ailments, other situations as
Right.
well. They were not the healthiest of people in the world. But we still mourn them, and we should.
Yeah.
They
right.
should not have died. And it all started from however it got into this country and however it originated. We all think we pretty well know.
Right.
It
was a huge
should not have
debate.
happened. It should not have happened. But we were more scared probably in this country than we should have been.
Right.
I was concerned, I guess, because I was of the age, and I also had it. But I got the there's no good kind, but I got the kind. Being a much healthier person, especially in those days than I am today, it didn't impact me like it did other folks who were frail. Okay, I'm lucky that with some of my family members who are, very frail. Lucky they did not die.
Right.
So something was working good. Maybe it's the genes. I don't know.
So it was such a debate back then.
But it was how many people?
Divided.
Let's go back 30 years,
Right.
40 years. How many people do you know personally that died of AIDS during that period of time? That it was the rage, if you will recall. You did not even want to walk into the same room where people of a certain type were hanging out, right?
Right.
You were scared, weren't you?
Mm.
Were you scared? You were
I mean, you
scared.
thought about it. Yeah, you thought about
We
it.
were all scared.
But the unknown will kill you.
The unknown is what gets you.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
And
Fear is
so,
what gets you.
but how many people actually died of AIDS that you know about? You know of some of the big stars and whatever. Rock Hudson
Yeah.
always comes to mind.
I don't know. I was.
And Dick, was it Dick York or Dick
I
Sargent?
don't
One of
know.
them
There were
died of
any
AIDS.
number of athletes that
Robert
died.
Reed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anybody that you got it, it was a death sentence in
Yeah.
those days. It was a death sentence in the early stages when
I remember.
you know,
Oh yeah.
which
you
one
got
was
it. Okay, let's go ahead and get your gravesite.
Which one was it? Was it Magic Johnson, the Dr. J that got it,
Right.
and he's still living?
Yeah.
Right.
One of them is.
That was he
Right.
got it and as they were progressing,
Right.
they had what was it, the cocktail that they had? They developed
Yes.
that extended the life,
Yeah.
and then they kept adding, and so it ended up under control.
Right.
You can't call that a pandemic,
Yeah,
so to speak,
they
because
even have-
you had to be there was a cause, and it wasn't just by associating with with elements. You had to be
Right.
involved with people. And
I just thought it was an interesting memory that popped up,
you
and I
talking-
just wanted to bring it up.
You're talking about the COVID though, but the simple cure, North Carolina wouldn't even let you have it. And the reason I'm talking about this, I went to the doctor's office and my doctor wasn't there, and there was another doctor. Her name was Dr. Crow. She's married to a military officer.
Mhm.
And this was the second time I got COVID. And she walked in there when she came back in. She's no mask, no nothing. Hugged me, put my arms around and hugged me. You got COVID, honey. Just the way she put it. And she gave me a little bottle that had a little bit of iodine in it. She wants you to go home, mix this with water, and squirt it in your nose 4 times a day, and it kills the COVID virus in your nose that comes in. And I said, well, don't worry about getting me anything else because I'm going to go home and cure it myself. She
Mhm.
said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to take a dose of ivermectin. And her eyes got great big. She said, where do you get it? I said,
the doggy store.
in the feed store. And she asked me how I measured it. And I told her, she said, well, when COVID first broke out, I was a doctor in California. She said, we handed out ivermectin pills like candy. She said, I had 88 patients. I lost 2. One was 103 and one was 95, and they had underlying conditions.
Yep.
She said, but the ivermectin got rid of it. And but North Carolina would not let her prescribe it.
Don't prescribe it.
Don't prescribe it.
Just-
Can't do it.
Leave it on the bulletin board.
Yeah.
Outside.
And so I went home, took my little dose of ivermectin, and did that little. It's 1% iodine, 10% water, and you squirted it up your nose, and it would kill the virus in your nose.
I didn't do that. I did.
No, that was the
after I got-
second time.
Yeah, but I didn't do it even after I had it the one time, and mine was extremely mild. And
Yeah.
so
Mine was too.
but I had one of our listeners told me what to do. It wasn't you. It was another one. He didn't ride jackasses. He didn't own
Yeah.
any. He knew some. He used to work with them. You remember Doug?
Yeah.
Our friend Doug
Yeah.
Ball at Wilmington. He was my assignment manager in TV.
Mhm.
But Doug called one day. He said, he said, I've just got a thing. He was like 40 years old at the time. He says, here's what, we need to be doing. We need to go to the store and get that old man's mouthwash.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that?
Listerine.
That's the one. He
That's
said, that
it.
stuff will kill everything.
It will.
They use it on cuts. They use it on this. They use it on that. He said, best stuff in the world. I think I've used it ever since.
It's the best antiseptic you can buy. I mean, I use it on my animals.
It's it will also make your eyes water if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not careful. So that's always good.
And the cheaper the Listerine you buy it in a little plastic bottle, generic brand,
Uh-huh.
the more alcohol's got in it. And you just sit right there. And I keep it in my medical kit for animals.
Mhm.
I mean, when I go, if they got a cut and I'm going to fix it, the first thing I do is put Listerine
go.
on.
It's good for cuts.
Jim
I
Ricky
think
wants to know how much of that does he need to take?
Well, ivermectin,
I guess he said he's got some of that. How much does he need to
you
take?
go by weight.
Go by weight.
If you got COVID, don't take it.
Mhm.
I got folks taking it every month. I got
It's
folks
not
taking
there
it
as a-
every
It's
week.
not there as a preventative, though, is it?
It's supposed to be a cure.
a cure.
Yeah.
Prevention and cure.
Well,
are two different things.
I've got folks that tell me that I got one guy told me the other day, he said, I take a drop of ivermectin and I take it every day.
Mhm.
He says, I said, well, I know some people who take ivermectin every month. I've got one guy who took, when COVID first started breaking out, he started taking ivermectin every week. To this day, he hadn't got it. But I don't know. I'm just saying that's what did it.
I know a lot of people that didn't do any of that and they never got it either.
Right.
So
Yeah.
this whole thing is, well, stats are liars figures lie.
Right.
So
Well,
who knows?
that's like diabetes. I
didn't take any chances. I just didn't do Crest anymore.
Well, I just, there's so much controversy over it. And to me, like, to Tim's credit, he talked about the ivermectin. But the thing about it is, if that was a cure-all for COVID, why wasn't that put out nationally? And
well, parts of it were.
FDA, DMSA, DSMA, whatever that thing is.
DMSO.
Yeah. Okay. Now that stuff, you can put it on animals. You can put it on your dogs, your cats, your jackasses, whatever.
What do you
right?
believe? What do you believe?
You can, but you're not supposed to use it because the FDA never approved it. The FDA never said it was bad for you.
Yeah.
They just never gave it as approval for treating anything, right? However,
you can get it.
a lot of people use it themselves.
Well,
And it's a good thing the FDA did not approve it. You know why? It would be $40 for a 1 ounce bottle.
well, one tube that you can get a doctor to prescribe. There's not an insurance company out there that will pay for it. And it's $2,400 a tube. And it's only 22%. Now you look on your bottle, what does it say?
We don't tell everybody.
Right. But I'm just saying,
It's out there.
it's out there.
And it's a short-term relief for some pain.
It sure is.
In your joints,
In your
in
joint.
your feet.
If you got arthritis, don't use it. If you don't have arthritis,
Don't
use
do that because you're not going to be happy with the
it.
results.
If you got sore joints and stuff like that, I use the big oil.
And wash
works.
your hands immediately upon
Yeah,
using
don't
it.
do this.
No. You're going to hate yourself.
It
And there are other things you
stinks.
don't do too. You're going to hate yourself
That's
then
some
too.
stinking stuff.
In the U.S. Department of Justice criminal misconduct and illegal activity claims against former FBI Director James Comey, a magistrate hearing the first parts of this case has accused the DOJ of, his words, purposeful, that means intentional, reckless, or negligent issues being presented that raise concerns of misconduct by the DOJ, is what this magistrate / judge said. He's questioning what the DOJ has done. There was a grand jury hearing, right?
Right.
Grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, right?
Right.
But in listening to the arguments here for that, this magistrate is saying, they did this, they did this, they did that, they did that, and now I'm going to order them to release all of that information.
Oh, here we go.
Magistrate Judge William Fitzpatrick said the DOJ may have mishandled evidence presented to a grand jury in that case and may have presented misguided or inappropriate comments to that grand jury.
Tainted.
As a result, the judge ordered the Department of Justice to hand over all of their material to the Comey attorneys, which also makes it go public. The judge also warned that the grand jury proceedings may have been tainted beyond repair and could cause the court to dismiss the indictment.
Mm-hmm.
Comey is facing one charge of a false statement to Congress, making a false statement to Congress, lying, and one charge of obstruction of justice. He's pleaded not guilty and moved to have his case dismissed on several grounds. Mr. Comey's attorney may want to consider something. Remember, the DOJ's got a whole bunch of attorneys, right?
Well,
They got really smart lawyers.
Right.
Have you thought about maybe the DOJ might end up being happy about this? Why? Well, suppose they think it's a perfect chance to destroy the case against Comey. That's what his attorneys was thinking. One thing it does is allows the government, the prosecuting team of the DOJ, to now introduce all of the evidence that they called evidence that they submitted to the grand jury that a lawyer probably wouldn't, the judge would probably not have allowed that to be introduced to a trial jury. But now, all of that stuff is likely going to be able to be slipped in because the attorneys wanted it. If the defense attorneys wanted it, they can't say, well, we shouldn't be, they shouldn't be able to introduce it. Whoops. So now it's like when somebody says, he killed that woman, and then they said, you're out of order. Disregard that, jury.
Yeah.
I think,
right.
I think the whole thing, I think the whole thing's going to get thrown out. I do.
Attorneys, I learned that attorneys, lawyers, those folks out there, both sides, they can be sneaky people.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And when they are doing chess, they're playing chess.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those chess moves are made behind the scenes. Okay, now if I say we don't want this stuff introduced into evidence, then the other opposing attorneys will say, Your Honor, I object. We need to introduce that into evidence, and be careful what you want.
Yep.
Well,
When you try to outguess the other attorneys, they went to the same classes you did. Some are just sneakier.
I can make
others.
Walter Vatcher so mad if he had a animal case, and I'd be up there and he'd look at, and I was good friends with him. I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be up there and he's trying to trip me out, and I knew what he was doing, and the only thing it would make him mad if I would say answer a question, and then I'd look at the judge and I'd say, may I explain? Now the judge is going to tell you, yeah.
You bet you
And
believe
then
it.
I can see Walter drop his head right then.
It's
Here
over
we
now.
go.
It's over now.
And I would explain the concept of what we were talking about. And I remember
in
the last
terms that a
time,
juror can understand.
and and I
You've
just tell
influenced
in
that
layman's
juror.
terms, because they were trying to do this deal and this deal. No, it don't work. They don't know what you're talking about. But I remember the last case that he was on. He got up, we got ready to go, and he shook my hand. He says, "I will never do another horse case again as long as you're working for the county."
There you go.
And he didn't.
Done deal. There was a federal drug smuggling trial going on, and this former prior New York Catholic police officer. Back in the day, they were all Catholic police officers from New York, and he became a customs agent. He became the senior special agent in charge of customs in North Carolina for investigations. Got to be a good friend of mine. He's testifying. They caught a boatload of people and a boatload of dope down in the Oak Island area in the middle of the night coming in, and so they busted a bunch of people. And this guy with big bushy hair from a New York, a lawyer. He was originally from New York, but he had taken up residence down in Florida where the drug trafficking was centered, smuggling operations. And it was a boat operation there, a boat manufacturer there that supplied a lot of boats for this stuff. So he was representing them all the time. So he was sent up to Wilmington, North Carolina to represent these clients. And Agent Dolan, on the witness stand in federal court with Judge Fox on the bench, who was a no-nonsense judge. And Dolan, the defense attorney, asked him something, and he reaches in his pocket and he takes out a notebook, typical police-type notebook. It fit right there. They're standard issue. You could buy them. You could buy them under the name stenographers' notebooks, reporters' notebooks, or police notebooks, sheriff's notebooks. I mean, they had them like that, but they were all the same one.
You're right.
Just a different cover. So he takes that out of his pocket and he starts to thumb through looking for the information. And the lawyer at that point in time, Mr. Dolan, may I have that, please? So he takes his notebook. If you pick up any piece of paper or any notebook or anything else, you're on the witness stand and you're using that, everything in that notebook is fair game for the attorneys.
Yeah.
It's every bit of it can be used as evidence. The attorney looking for anything he can to discredit Dolan. Mr. Dolan, you've got down here some notations about 4 individuals. And I say SPIC1, SPIC2, SPIC3, SPIC4. Now, isn't that kind of derogatory, racist, what you have written there about these individuals? These are the defendants in this trial, right? He said, they are, sir. He said, why would you write something like that down? He said, because we did not have their names at that time. Well, why did you write this down? He said, because it stands for Southern Producers of Imported Cannabis. Suspect number 1, Southern Producer of Imported Cannabis number 2, 3, and 4. And I mean, he knew what he was doing. Yeah. Do you not think he was prompted that he came up with that? Now, the defense attorney is looking like the fool that the defense attorney was. Yeah. He went up against somebody who's a lot smarter than he was.
That's it.
Dummy.
I mean, my brother told me a case about
the highway patrol guy.
He told me about a case, and he was sitting there and said he was sitting at the witness stand, and the defense attorney, and I'm not picking on women, but she was a young woman, and she was talking about the GVWR, which is the gross vehicle weight rating, and she kept saying the greatest vehicle weight rating. And he just looked at the judge. The judge looked at him. He said, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Have no idea. And she said, well, you're a highway patrolman. You don't know what the greatest vehicle weight rating is? No, ma'am, I don't. And she said, well, how can you be a highway patrolman? He said, because I don't know anything about greatest vehicle weight rating. I knew about gross vehicle weight rating, and he said the judge just looked at him, and they just both of them were laughing.
Let the lawyer sit down.
That was it. Yeah, that's all she wrote. Because I will give him credit. When he joined the highway patrol, he had the GI Bill because he was in the Navy, and he took law classes. Just a few law classes, stuff like that, and courtroom classes. And I told him one time we were talking about a case, and he asked me, and I told him how I answered. He said, "Who in the world schooled you?" I said, "My brother." I said, the greatest lawyer in Oslo County school. Who? I said, Marshall Dodson.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. And I said, yes, he schooled me real quick on how to act on the witness stand.
There's a procedure. State trooper pulls a guy.
Yeah.
Here on 17 North. Zip right along. Late at night. And the guy was zipping, but was also drunk.
Yeah.
And no other cars out there on the highway, but it's, that time of morning, coming in from Newbert. The attorney was a guy well-known, totally unrespected by everybody. He turned his back on all the police when they were on the witness stand. He would never face them. He would turn his back to them and talk to the jury.
Yeah.
And, Mr. So-and-so, who are you talking to? I'm talking to you, officer of the law, Mr. So-and-so. Okay. What time of night did you see all of this that you claim to have seen with my client? It was 2:00 in the morning, whatever time it was. He said, Mr. So-and-so, was it dark at 2:00 in the morning? Yes, sir. And you testify here that it was dark and you saw all of this up ahead of you? Yes, sir. Mr. So-and-so, just how far can you see at nighttime when it's dark? He said, well, on a clear night, I can see all the way to the moon. That's 240,000 miles away. It's like,
it was coming.
God. I mean, every cop in the world knows that story.
Yeah.
But he used it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My friend Ralph.
Ralph.
Oh, yeah.
You probably bumped into him once or twice. Last name was Price.
I've never bumped into him, thank goodness, but I knew who he was.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
His wife
thank
worked at the
goodness.
Board of Elections, I think.
He what?
I think his wife was working at the Board of Elections at the time.
Could be.
Lawyers can be sneaky. Cops can, they've heard it all, people. They've heard it all. They've heard it all. That same lawyer got arrested. He resisted one night and he got into a scuffle and then he had a headache.
It used to tickle me. I got into a horse case and they were talking about beacon scores, which is an opinionated score. It measures the top line of a horse, the backbone.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was below the backbone, it was this and they were sitting there one time talking about beacon scores and this and that. And then they had a vet walk in there and he was talking about it and he was this and that and the other. And they wound up putting me on the stand and the prosecuting attorney said, Mr. Thomas, what's your opinion on the beacon score? I said, well, it's not a true score. I can score it one way. And the average person can score it somewhere else. So which?
All of them.
Woo, boy, and he looked at me and I said, look, all we got to do, we can clear this right now. We need to get the score out of the courthouse. Just say emaciated or not. That's all you got to do.
Is the horse hungry?
Yeah.
Has he been fed?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay. Is that a fact? It doesn't matter. That's what I said.
I had one case that I lost and they kept delaying the court case, which the more you delayed the court case, the more weight I could get on the horse. But you could not fatten this. And I had a veterinarian come all the way from Raleigh.
Why are horses measured in hands?
Hands?
You know, my hand, your hand, my hand, they ain't the same size.
Well, a hand is generally 4 inches. A hand, generally. And yours might be longer, might be longer, might be
You're
shorter.
talking about this way down?
This way.
Does that include the thumb?
Like
What?
this. Just
Does not
like
include the
this.
thumb?
Yeah. Well, no, not
Okay, so
sticking
it's here.
up. It's got
It's
to be
here.
like this. And it's
This is
generally a
like
hand.
This is the way you measure the
That's
amount
a
of,
finger.
amount of liquor you're going to put in a
That's
drink,
finger.
right?
This is definitely a man
That's a
thing.
finger.
2 fingers, right?
Yeah.
No.
It's definitely a man
Two
Two
thing.
fingers can do a lot in this world, but
There's
okay.
two fingers there, not here. Okay, now,
But a hand is measured as 4 inches, and
why
And
do
you
they call it
measure
a
it.
hand? Why don't you just use a
it was
ruler?
just determined. Well, we do.
Hmm.
We do.
Does that ruler have hands on it,
No.
or does it have inches on
You
it?
just say every 4 inches is a hand, and that's the way you determine the height of a horse, and it's at the withers.
But you don't use.
Yeah, we
tape
use a
measure.
ruler. We have a tape measure that you get at, and
So
it's
then
got
you
a
have
arm
to convert
across it.
the inches back to hands.
Mhm.
I'm staying out of this.
Oh heavens!
I'm definitely staying out of this.
Okay,
one.
you guys know I refer to knots
Yeah,
around here all the time.
knots,
Speed,
exactly.
Right.
Speed.
I want a call from somebody out there who knows where that term first originated. Knots.
No, I don't know.
Okay, it's somebody out
But,
there.
yeah.
Now, don't go looking it up in Google and give me a call in 3 minutes because it's out there. But I don't.
I know
Where-
a knot is more than a mile.
Where did
don't.
knots originate? How did it originate? I'll buy you Mountain Dew, a little one. If I don't drink it first, I got some more out there. 910-333-0139. Okay, you boaters out there, you use it all the time. Pilots use it all the time. It's used
Right.
in the air. It's used on the
On the
water. It ain't used on dry land.
Mm-mm.
Miles per hour are. What's knots? And don't tell me how much a knot is.
All right.
How did it come to be the word knot show up?
It's very interesting how it came to be.
And I use it every day, and I've been waiting for
Mhm.
11, 12 years now for somebody to ask me, where did that come from? And no, none of y'all
I
ever
know.
have. Not one person
I-
here.
Mm-mm.
And the thing about it is I don't know why we even use it.
What? Because
Because why?
I will explain to you when we figure out
Why
why.
can't we just say miles?
We could, but it would be wrong.
How many miles is it from
You talking
here
about,
to Food Lion?
Nautical miles or otherwise?
Land miles.
Land miles is fairly flat from here to there, right?
Why do we need
Right.
nautical miles?
Nautical miles, if you're going to be going for a long distance, like across the ocean with
Right.
3,000 miles or
Mm-hmm.
so coming across that ocean, it's the curvature that you
Curvature.
have to go, not the direct distance. If you go by radio waves, it's a straight line. If you go by the circumference of the earth there, that's a nautical mile, which is longer than a statute mile.
Yeah.
All right.
And then there's the miles per hour versus the knots. Where did the knots come from?
I know
I know where it comes from.
when they built the
Well, you're
Chesapeake
very
Bay
right.
Bridge tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
They had to go get high enough up to measure the curvature of the earth for the bridge.
That's right.
Sure did.
I understand what you're saying about knots. I'm just like, I mean,
It's going to take a plane longer to fly at 500 miles per hour
Mhm.
going over the circumference like that
Yep.
than it is if he was to be able to go straight
Right. A diameter.
right. That makes sense.
from Paris to New York. Let's just say it's 3,000 miles. I don't know how far it is, but you don't fly on the surface
No.
to get there. You're going to be flying the curvature of the earth to get there.
Well, I'm still trying to get over centimeters. I mean, you have a tool and it says for this bolt, use a 9 millimeter or a
Yeah.
9, whatever. Why? Why can't you just say a 3/4 inch?
How do you convert centimeters to meters?
I don't know. Why do I
You
care? I
take
just
off
want
the
one that'll fit.
CENTI and
Right.
you've got meters.
Everything's in tens.
I just want one that fits. I mean, you know, you go out and buy a
was
new
a
tool
question.
set.
That was a question on a test with a little kid answered.
Right.
How do you make centimeters meters? He said, you take off the CENTI and you got meters left.
Yep.
Smart kid.
He was.
Well, you know,
I
it's
love those
just
kids
you
who
go
think
buy,
like that. They're
Oh, yeah.
smart ones out there. We're the stupid ones.
you go
That's right.
and buy a new set of wrenches, and
Yeah.
then you get home and they're all like 5 millimeters, centimeters,
Just
whatever
buy your-
they are.
Just buy you a drunk man's wrench. It's called an adjustable wrench.
There you
Well,
go.
I have a lot of those, but you go in there and instead of just saying you need a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch, you know, you need a 7 or a 9 millimeter, centimeter,
That's why
whatever.
you got these mechanics nowadays. They got a set of metric tools. They got a set of standard tools
Why should we have to have? Why can't we just have one?
because
Because why?
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter wanted us to go to the metric system.
Uh-huh.
That's
Thank you,
who
Jimmy.
tried to get it started.
Now, do you know what a flat-headed screwdriver is for a carpenter?
Uh,
Whoa.
You again? We'll have to wait for him to
Yeah,
do
bud.
it. So while he's doing that, we'll do the weta, and then we won't. It's too early, isn't it?
well, let me ask you something else. We're talking about millimeters and stuff like that. You know, I've been looking at different bread recipes because I've been making a lot of bread.
Uh-huh.
And some of the recipes they'll say use 170 millimeters of water.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, why not
Milliliters of water, probably.
milliliters,
Yeah,
whatever it
that's
is, of
usually the
water?
liquid measurement.
You're right, yeah. But you know, if you look at your measuring cup, it goes from 160 to 180. So you've got to figure out 170. Why can't
It's
they
in
just say
between.
use 3/4 of a cup? Why are we doing this?
Well, guess who's not going to be doing it like that?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it just like,
Before
And-
the days of steak steakhouse chains like Outback,
yes,
Texas Roadhouse,
Texas
and
Roadhouse.
others like that.
now Bubba's.
When there were franchises across much of the United States bearing the name Sizzler or Western Sizzlin',
We had them.
steakhouses. Do you remember those days?
Yep.
Not really fine dining, right?
I
It was for me, but
Well, yeah.
it wasn't the Ruth Chris or those
Right,
kinds of places.
Exactly.
But there were edible hunks of beef prepared in many cases, like a lot of us did it at home. A lot of those cases involved gravy. If I asked for it, I got gravy.
Yes, gravy.
I like
Mm.
peppers, sausage, gravy, and
Mushrooms.
mushrooms and my
Mhm.
steak.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I liked.
Yes.
With smashed taters,
Oh, yes. No.
covered in gravy.
Yes. Sounds good.
And then if I had to have something green, I'd say, "Ooh, just give me a slice of red tomato. It was green at one time. That's pretty much what I wanted, right? Well,
Right.
you seen a Sizzler or a Western Sizzling lately? They all disappeared for the most part.
Yes, they did.
There are some There may be some Sizzlers coming back to life, though, making a
Really?
comeback with a new, refreshed look, even as the quick service restaurant sector continues to face a challenging environment that has
Nice.
prompted countless closures. There are about 80 of the Sizzlers still left in these United States. And new owners have said, we're going to get them back in business. People miss them. They like them. They were tasty. Our food product was good and reasonable. The company said in a press release that it's tapping into the sentimental value associated with the brand and plans to compete with fast food giants, including McDonald's and other similar restaurants, and offer a more appealing alternative for parents seeking a dining experience that evokes comfort and familiarity.
Okay.
The sizzling steakhouses or the Western sizzling steakhouse, the Sizzler steakhouses or the Western sizzling steakhouses, they're trying to make a comeback.
I've been begging to come to Richlands for years.
I would love it.
The closest one's in Goldsboro.
I remember the one that we had here before.
Yes.
It was so good.
We had two of them on the same street.
Didn't we have one right up here on
One was
Western?
named Sizzling and the other was named Sizzler and the other was named
Sizzler.
Western Sizzling.
Yep.
Didn't we have one right here at
I don't-
Country Club in Western Boulevard?
Oh,
Could have been. I
There,
don't know.
there was one there, I remember.
I don't know. I didn't.
But I remember when
I didn't eat out too much in those days when I would come. to
Ricky
visit.
has an answer to your question.
Okay, take it.
Has
on
to
out.
do with knots on a rope tossed over the boat or something close.
Yeah, knots were tied at about 47 feet and some inches apart on a long spool, and they have a little device on there that kind of looked. It was a twisted like a propeller, so it would spin, right? And it was dropped off behind the boat, and they knew how many feet there were and all that sort of good stuff, and they could figure out how many knots they were going per hour at that speed. It translates into, in case anybody's interested, when I say 10 knot winds, or let's say 100 knot winds from a hurricane, then you multiply that 100 knots by 1.015 or thereabout, 1.15.
Right.
It's got some fractions after it, and you will
Right.
get the approximate miles per hour that
Yes.
100 knot wind is blowing.
Yes.
And again, it's knots. It just became knots. It was kind of cool because you tied it in knots, but it's actually based upon nautical miles.
Right.
Nautical miles is going to be about the same thing. 1.15 nautical miles per miles is equal to 1 nautical mile.
Well, why?
And that's because you measure around. You're
The
measuring
cover.
around the
The earth.
surface of the
Let me see.
the earth
The
up
earth.
there,
How could I put
Not-
this?
straight across.
Would you guys just take a spool of rope and you measure with your hands, right? 1 hand, 2 hand, 3 hand, 4 hand, 5 hand, and get your measurements that way. You're so good at using your hands for measurement. The fish was this big.
Well, we do that
You
on
know,
a horse.
Now, Timmy, according to the stories that I have heard
Okay.
and some that I have seen written, Timmy, one time in his younger days, he went to the lingerie store
Oh
did?
my god!
to buy something special
For
for
a lady?
someone special.
I have, yes.
Yeah, you did. And the clerk said, well, what size do you want for the upper torso?
5 hands.
No. 6 and 7/8, he said.
Man,
6 and 7/8.
that size.
Well, that's how he measured. He took his hat off.
That's it. So let's put it, like this. I did.
So they don't come in
Yes.
sizes like that. You had to do. I'd use my hat, and there it is.
Lord help me. Lord help
And
me.
they stretch pretty good too. It's like the leather underwear I made one time for somebody, but yeah.
Never mind.
By the way, there's been a 47% increase in the restaurant's profits, the business profits for the Sizzlers.
Wow.
Okay. That's why they're seriously considering reopening around the country,
Well,
open up more stores.
The favorite
for them.
The
Good for
favorite
them.
one I go to is in Dunn. If I go to Mount Airy and come back, I'll
Right.
stop Dunn, and it's the cleanest.
Wow.
And I mean, the food is awesome. And you can still say you can line up and get a steak, or you can get buffet, or you can get both.
Nice.
And I know there's one in Goldsboro. I hadn't been to it. It's just, I always enjoyed it. The only thing, when we had the Western Sizzling and the Golden Corral side by side on 17, you remember that?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
Western Sizzling went out of business right there, left there. But the only difference and they had the salad. That's when they had started the salad bar.
I remember the salad bar.
Golden
That's what I
Corral
remember most.
had the little cherry tomatoes, and I loved them. And Western Sizzling, they had a tomato and they cut them up. But now that's what I remember most. But we'd go there to either one and eat steak. Was Mama was going to look out for Little Sewell. Now she did lunch because she worked for Little Sewell when she worked at Cloud
I'll tell
Owen
you
School.
what, the Golden Corral is,
Yeah.
I do at least monthly.
Yeah.
And don't tell Billy, okay?
Yeah.
Because I can kill 2 meals
Yeah.
by going in as an
Yeah.
old guy at 2:00 in the
Mhm.
afternoon.
You can.
2:00 in the afternoon.
Same.
You get a deal when you
Yeah.
get the bill
Right.
on Monday through Friday. So I always pick at least one day a month.
Well, this
Sometimes I'm there 3 days a month, but
Yeah.
we'll go there and I will wait till about that time. I walk in the door about 2:15 or so, because it's good from 1 till 3.
right.
You get a chunk of change off.
Yeah, you do.
Cool. So my wife and I, we will order and we will sit there and eat. I say we can just eat slow and just
Right.
keep on eating until 5 or 6 o'clock
Mhm.
if we want to, but we don't
Right.
need to. We'll eat 2, 3, 4 trips over a period of time,
Mhm.
Right.
shoot the breeze with people,
Right.
and then we leave filled to capacity.
Go home and get in a recliner, get
And
a
there's
blanket.
no reason to go
Yeah.
home and try to cook something after
No.
that, because number
Mm-mm.
one, it's kind of like going shopping, grocery shopping. The
Yes.
worst time to go is when you're hungry,
Oh, yes.
because you're going to have 3 cartloads of stuff, most of it junk,
Pumpkin cake,
stuff that spoils too, some of
cream
it, before you
horns,
get a chance to use it.
I do
cookies.
love Golden Corral fried chicken. It and
I
Church's
do
chicken is my
too.
favorite chicken.
Oh.
I
Okay,
love
go
it.
the fried
Yes.
chicken there.
Yes.
The fried chicken when it comes out and it's just got
Oh,
fried chicken.
Mhm.
I get that. Really don't listen to this. And then I get some smashed potatoes right
Yeah.
down there with it. And
Mhm.
sometimes I have to walk around because I'll find smashed potatoes
Yeah.
with cheese in it.
Yes.
And I bring
That's-
that back.
Yep.
And then stuff down, put a big old kind of a crater in that smashed
yes, you
potatoes.
have to make it with
Yeah.
your spoon there.
I gotta have a place to put the gravy.
That's
Call
right.
we make
Because I don't want it running everywhere.
That's
we call
right.
it making a pond.
That's it.
That's what we call
So
it.
we
back
pond
in-
up the gravy, and then
yeah,
I
we pond up-
pour the other gravy right over the chicken and let it
Yes.
just settle down in there.
Have you had their
Yeah.
pot roast?
Yes.
It melts in your mouth.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
What do you
it's
think I learned to
so
cook? I just go in there and sample the food, and then I go try to
I
recreate it.
love to go eat breakfast there when I can.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm gonna get me some of the biggest chicken legs you'll ever see.
I love
But
the
I'm gonna eat me a
breakfast.
chicken leg for breakfast.
Mhm.
Whether why, but they got I call it all rotten taters, but it's all rotten
All rotten
potatoes. They
potatoes.
are so.
Do you
good.
remember the Piccadilly
Yeah.
buffet we had here at the mall? It was at
Yeah.
the shopping mall.
I don't do malls.
Yeah, no, this was a Piccadilly
I don't
cafeteria.
do
Yeah.
malls.
But you go in from the outside, Rayford. You don't
I
have
don't
to go
go-
through the mall.
Yeah,
don't
you
do
do.
it.
No,
Yeah,
the
you
question
do.
is, do you remember it?
No, I don't.
I do.
We used to go there a lot. When my daughter was real young, the family used to go there.
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't that in the mall?
That was in a
No.
shopping center
Right.
It was
across from the mall.
That's right, on the right.
That's right.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
K&W.
Yep. K&W.
K&W cafeteria.
Yes. Didn't it turn into a Chinese restaurant?
I don't
Way
know.
later than that.
I tell you,
Not
when I get into Wilmington, I
Scott.
try to leave. I try
Quickly.
to
Right.
get out.
You can't leave quickly.
One of the best places, if you like great eating, is right there on Oleander Drive, and it's called Casey's Restaurant. They got a buffet there, and they got
Really?
some.
Where's
my God.
that?
Where's it close
If you
to?
come
Oleander?
in, if you
I'm
come
writing
in
this down.
Oleander Drive,
Oleander.
on College Road, turn left. It's way down there on the left. It's called. I think they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It's on
and Sunday.
Oleander
What's it
Drive.
called?
Yeah.
Casey's?
Near what?
It's going back toward military cutoff. When you come in
Okay,
College
going
Road,
back-
turn left. Don't turn right, like you're going to the mall. If you come in College Road, you get to Oleander Drive, turn left.
Oh, turn left. Okay, like you're
Like
coming
going
back.
toward
Jacksonville.
military cutoff.
Right.
Yeah. And it'll be up there on the left.
You take Oleander Drive
Yeah, you go up all
and just leave and head towards military cutoff.
So
Yeah.
it'd be on
So
the right.
where along
It'll
that
be on the
road is,
left.
that's a long road.
I know it is, and I'm trying to picture what else is there, but it's
Well,
a big sign that says
It's on the
Casey's
military cutoff side of,
Oleander. And it's-
no, that is Oleander. It's on
Yeah.
the military cutoff side of College Road.
Yeah.
All right, you cross College Road.
No, you turn
Here it
left
is.
at Oleander.
It's 55,
Off of College
59,
Road.
Don't get
Oleander
on College
Drive.
Road.
Okay, well,
Get on Oleander Drive,
yeah,
past the mall.
but
and
you're not
keep-
going that way.
If I'm leaving there, I'm going that way.
Okay,
So I'm leaving Wilmington.
okay.
I'm on got the mall on my starboard side of my truck, my
Yeah.
Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the right side for y'all. It's
Yeah.
on the right side. And then I'm going out towards it yonder. I cross over the intersection of College Road.
Yeah,
And then I keep on going.
Correct.
And before I get out there too far, I'm going to find this place on the right or
it's
the
on the
left.
left.
On the left
On the
side.
left.
That used to be a nightclub.
Okay.
All right, 59,
Okay.
50, no, I'm sorry, it's 55, 59
That's
Oleander
a
Drive.
Seagate.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not
Place
far.
Seagate.
That's,
I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
where I was born.
It is 48
First
miles
4
from here.
years of my life, that's where I lived.
But it is
So they told me.
fantastic food.
Rayford, they have very good
forever to
reviews too.
You know what? He gave me directions one time because things were not working well. For me coming from Wilmington, trying to get out of the back roads to get to somewhere in Richlands. I went to Beulahville. I went to, he turned up there, Bubba's Barn on the
Yeah.
right hand side. Oh, no, if you go to Sam's Barn, you've gone too far. Turn around and come back a piece.
See the commode on the side of the road,
That's
you've
the
gone too far.
That's the one.
That's
And
it,
It
right?
took me 4 hours to get from Wilmington to Richlands.
You know where the Jungle Rapids Family Fun Park is?
I do. Knew where
Yeah,
it
it's
was.
just right past it on the left.
That's what I said.
That is some fantastic eating. They got
Near the
lemon.
batting cages that used to
Yes, yes. Okay.
follow. Roy Rogers had a
I'm definitely
had
gonna
a
try it
restaurant
out.
there.
They have
Yeah.
excellent reviews, 4 out of 5, 4.2, and Yelp has 5 out of 5. There you go. Okay.
It is great.
For
eating.
God's sakes. All right, the weather. Did we do that yet?
No, we have not.
Out to 20 nautical miles today. Northerly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southeasterly this afternoon. Seas around 2 feet. That's 24 inches. I don't know how many centimeters. Don't care. Sounds and rivers of light chop, becoming flat in the afternoon.
About that far.
What would be the measurements for Twiggy in centimeters? Wednesday, tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, but diminishing to 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon. Thursday, easterly winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Sounds and rivers of light chop.
And thank you, Vicki, for the address for Casey's. Today, sunny with a high near 66, light and variable wind. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 47. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 75. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 72. And let's jump into Friday. Partly sunny with a high near 78. Lows that night dip into around 59. So far, that's the forecast for Friday night football. We're going to keep checking it every day.
And we'll say hey to Vicky. She's a new listener.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
Vicki.
Hey, Vicki. Yeah,
Now,
she's
if Barbie, physical size of Barbie, right? You
Yeah.
know what? Not so tall or something. I don't know
right.
how
Right.
big a
Yeah,
Barbie is.
see, there you go, Barbie.
Centimeters
No,
or
Barbie.
inches?
Barbie. Okay, a little Barbie, a big Barbie. What kind of Barbie?
Right. Right.
Now, Barbie, if Barbie was increased in vertical height to, let's say, what a good size for a female, 5'6",
Yeah.
5 feet 6
Life
inches
size.
tall,
Yeah.
what would her
Average.
measurements be? If everything else was increased proportionally?
Twiggy flat.
No, just the opposite.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're stretching her,
I know, but everything is going to increase, or everything will increase proportionally. She's got no waist now. She would have a bigger, but still no waist.
Yeah.
She's got other things that are not there.
we women take offense to being compared to
I'm
Barbie.
just telling you, I'm not comparing women. I'm just saying that the people
And
who
real women, no way.
the people who made Barbies in the first place certainly did not
Sexist.
design them proportionally.
Right.
The
Right?
thing about Barbie, you can kiss a Barbie and not get slapped. How about that?
Well, Tim, if you're running around with Barbie dolls in your truck, then we need to talk.
And you start kissing her, I'm going to be.
Yeah.
You're going to get slapped by other drivers.
You're right.
They're going to run you over and slap you.
There
No,
goes Timmy and his Barbie.
I guess get the Barbie call.
Oh, my Lord.
Any news out there?
Oh, any news out here? I've got one right here for you. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, it's about an illegal alien.
Oh, God. Another one of
Rayford,
those. We're
another
gonna
one?
get called about
Released.
that. Illegals.
He was released during,
They're
this is the headlines.
Yes.
This is what it says.
Undocumented.
Alien released during Biden administration, accused of hitting a female jogger in the head with a hammer. This happened in Texas recently.
Release. Why?
An illegal immigrant with a criminal record, hello God, has been arrested after an attack on a woman who was jogging into Texas Park. On Wednesday, Sergio Noel da Nova Duarte, whatever, was arrested in Plano, Texas after a woman was attacked with a hammer in a park. They gave his age as only being 17. He was charged with aggravated kidnapping with bodily injury, which is a
Why was he
first-degree
released?
felony. After his arrest, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement lodged an arrest detainer for him.
In Texas.
Right. Okay, now.
What wimpy town in
He
Texas
has-
released him?
Plano, did I say Plano, Texas? I believe that's what I said. Yeah, Plano, Texas. Okay,
I would've thought better
anyway.
about him.
The DHS said that Duarte, a Mexican citizen, had a lengthy rap sheet, including a 2024 arrest on burglary and larceny charges. They took him into custody on that charge, but he was released with a notice to appear before an immigration judge in 2026.
He committed a crime in these United States. Why do you release him for any reason?
Mm-hmm. This criminal illegal alien should have never been on the loose in our communities. Attacked a woman who was just jogging in the park. Following this illegal alien's arrest in 2024.
Does that idiot not realize that in the great state of Texas, a whole lot of women, when they get out there doing their jogging, they're carrying a little bit of weight, about 32 ounces of a 357 Magnum.
Sure. And following his arrest in 2024, the Biden administration released this criminal illegal alien back into our communities. Under President Trump and Secretary Noem, ICE lodged an arrest detainer to ensure this criminal illegal alien is never able.
Where is he now? Is he in jail?
He's in jail.
Good.
Yeah. But the release said that he first entered the United States on a B-2 tourist visa in 2016 that required him to leave the country by September 17th,
When it
2016.
expires, you are an illegal.
That's right.
You may have come here legally,
Yes.
but when you violate the law by not going home, per your paperwork,
Steve.
as per your paperwork, you are an illegal. And that is just the way it is. You might start out this life being born as very legal and all that sort of good stuff, but when you get out there and you violate the law, you suddenly become a criminal.
He brought duct tape with him to the scene of the assault, implying that he was contemplating kidnapping. She fought him off.
Doesn't take a real brilliant person out there to figure out that one, does it, Steve?
No, I'd rather not comment. I missed the last part because I had to switch over to call in.
Okay, well, this
Switch over to call in.
17-year-old punk with a criminal history, a fairly lengthy criminal history of violence. This criminal kidnapped or just went to attack this woman jogger. And not only did he attack her, but when he got caught, he had duct tape on him. He was obviously had other plans. 2 and 2 equals
Yeah, that sounds pretty heinous. Yeah.
I call it a bad case of suicide if I was processing it, if the right thing was done.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't, think they should be out on bail until they figured out what was going on.
They didn't put him on bail. They released him to appear before an immigration judge. Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah. Our legal system is far from perfect.
Yep.
Right, I agree.
The legal system is perfect. It's the interpretation by the idiots that are in charge that's flawed.
I was going to say, anytime humans are involved, you've got the human factor, and that is always flawed.
So how are you doing? Everything else good?
Yeah. I've been running around, doing a few little errands this morning, dropped the wife off at work and grandson off at school, and on my way back to the house. Well, I was hearing y'all talk. I didn't get a chance to chime in this morning about the Epstein debacles.
Would they just
And,
leave?
you know,
The guy's dead.
Yeah, I tell you, and that's what kind of what I want to talk about is, I like to point out when I agree with y'all on things. And, y'all had stated something about that the Democrats, 2 years ago, they didn't care about this.
They had every
really
opportunity in the world at that time. They could have sailed through with Joe Biden in office. They could have sailed through. They could have released anything and everything about everybody if they wanted to.
They could have. They could have. I agree with. And they've only recently jumped on this band. They were actually kind of late to the game. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah, they were kind of late to the game.
I agree.
Why?
Okay.
Why were they late?
Okay, so well, that's a good question. But the question I wanted to ask first is, so who was responsible for initiating this movement of releasing Epstein files? It was the Republicans in the last election.
Right.
Mainly Donald Trump, and then they followed behind. So they made this an issue. They're the ones that put the spotlight on this, and that saying just that why didn't the Biden administration release this, and that if Trump got in office, that they would release it, because the Bidens were trying to cover something up, that all of them were trying to cover something up.
Right.
And then within less than 12 months of taking office, they are clearly trying to obstruct the release of these files. That is the story. They're the ones that are making this front page news. I agree that the Democrats have just jumped on board lately, but the Republicans are the ones that picked this ball up and were running with it a long time ago. And once you start trying to cover something up, I think we can all agree that makes everybody want to know. That makes everybody want to shine a light on it. I don't know that he's guilty of anything, and I don't know that there's anything in there against Trump. But the fact that they don't want us to know is going to spark everybody's interest.
If it was as simple as that, I would be totally agreeable. And because I'm a suspicious person by nature, by training, that's the way I am. That's the way I float. My problem is that was fault. I don't care whether the Republicans, the Democrats, or whether, God intervened in the case and tried to get those files released. It was a very timely thing in 2019 during the Epstein debacle, and with the suicide of Epstein, with all the questions that were floating as a result of that suicide, it was very timely to see if this guy met his demise at his own hand, of which I am firmly convinced that he did, by the way. After listening and looking at much of the physical stuff and evidence, and yes, there are going to be little things here and there that somebody's going to say, well, what about that 30 seconds that nobody was there? Okay, whatever. But all the physical evidence, trying to hang a man is not the easiest thing in the world to do if he's fighting it. You understand that? Trying to control a person is a difficult thing to do unless you beat him severely, right? Little kids, you can't have a hard time controlling. I'm sure you had a little kid, if they ever threw a tantrum when they were 2 years old, you had your hands full, didn't you? But if they didn't want it released, then time goes by. It's like the Kennedy stuff. It's over. It's done with. It was in 1963. The guy is still dead. No evidence, no real evidence, supposition, claims, this, that. There's no perfect case there's never been a perfect case investigated or solved. None that I've ever been involved in. There are always those who well, there is the possibility. Yeah, there is a possibility. There's a possibility that tree across the street down there is going to pick up roots today and be flown over here from a tornado that pops up and lands in my house. Likelihood? No. But there's always a possibility that there's something else there. The further you get from those days, then you start asking yourself, what difference does it really make today? It's a done deal. He's still dead. Nobody has claimed that he is anything but a sleazeball. How many other people were involved? Probably too many to really pay attention to. If you leave one out, when you start going after somebody, it's like, oh God, it's like that former president, retired president of Harvard. He hasn't been caught. He has 7 years worth of emails exchanged with Epstein, and they were of a nature that he really didn't want to release. But guess what happened? Then he gets released. That's one of the first things. And they're all going to start coming out. But then why? Do I care? Do I want to read this every day instead of real news?
Steve,
No.
the answer to your question is this whole thing about Epstein files has been used by both parties as a weapon politically. And so
Stupidly politically.
Yeah, the whole thing was used as a point in running the campaigns. It's been used since then. The whole thing is political. It's just to see which party is going to overtop the other party.
I don't really dispute what you're saying. The only thing that throws a monkey wrench in your theory is that the Republicans ran on this.
Yep, and then
I agree.
as soon as they got in, they dropped it.
They made it a big issue,
Mm-hmm.
and now they want to just make it all go away.
It was to
And
their
that
political.
action, regardless of what it's about.
It was.
Regardless of what it's
Yeah.
about, that action is enough to make it headline news.
It was to their political advantage
At the time, right?
when this happened, knowing what was going to happen in 2020, the election. It was to their advantage to bring up as much stuff then and then after then for a while.
Well, let's go back.
Then now it looks like, hey, we got 2028 coming around the corner here. We need to start planning for it.
Well, that's like the Biden administration. They had the Epstein files. If they found that there was damaging evidence against Trump, why didn't they use that then? See, the whole thing has been made so political.
I do not know that the Biden administration had the information.
Yep,
the files
they
were
did.
there. But the FBI, just like they did with J. Edgar Hoover, J. Edgar hid more stuff on more people and saved it for his personal use later on, just in case he needed it. Do not discount what they do at headquarters.
Yeah. I'm just trying to say the whole thing has
regardless
just
of who's in
been
office.
used.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
Okay, and it's true that the Biden administration, maybe they could have released it. I don't know why they didn't. But that's irrelevant. That what the Republicans ran on was that everybody up there was corrupt, and because they wouldn't release them, and if they were given the opportunity, they were definitely going to release everything.
Another political promise that was never meant to be kept.
On that.
Well, we'll see what happens
At the very least,
today.
you can't trust any of them.
Amen.
At the very least.
How many times have I said that one?
So,
Yes.
I mean, if these files not being exposed, regardless of Epstein's dead and gone, the people who made his business possible, the wealthy people who engaged in that activity are still out there with lots of money looking for someone else to fill that need.
Yeah.
That's why we should care. There's probably still children being abused right now by those same people.
Oh, I'm sure, yes. Mm-hmm.
And who are you
Sad.
going to find to be able to prove anything that occurred 6 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
Unless there's pictures and videos.
I don't know, but I would say that a political party that based half their campaign on releasing this information should be held accountable to do what they said they were going to do.
And now they're talking
Now you're talking about political campaign promises. That's what nobody keeps those. They keep only the ones that are convenient.
Yeah, but this was one of a special nature. This involves a child pedophile sex trafficking ring.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't. I'm promising to lower your taxes. I'm promising to hold these despicable people accountable.
Good luck.
So I mean, I consider that a difference, but maybe everybody else don't.
Yeah.
But at any rate, this is a bed that the Republicans made for themselves, and and now they're pooped in it. I know the Democrats are jumping on board because when there's blood in the water, the sharks are going to circle. But the Republicans are ones that put the blood in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say, I don't trust either one of them in this situation. But I want the files to come out now too. I want to know what everybody's hiding. If there's Democrats in there, this might be how we can actually drain the swamp.
Very true.
Do you think that this guy, the former president, who still holds some positions at Harvard, and I'm going to make an assumption here that he's a Democrat, but I do not know because I didn't run his background and I didn't even read whether he was or isn't. Don't care. But do you think there's anything that's going to come of him and his conversations and emails, 7 years worth of emails with Epstein, making claims about him having desires, or actually we don't know exactly what all the emails say, whether he was involved or made himself involved or used his position as the president of Harvard and had this mentee he was a mentor to the mentee, a Chinese student. She's of age. Would you prosecute him? Would you prosecute him today if all of this was true? Assuming that it is true, because he's ashamed of it and he says he regrets it and yada, yada, yada. He regrets getting caught. Okay? Give me a break.
Yeah. Honestly, I ain't really put a whole lot of stock in the emails that have been released. That isn't the Epstein files.
Well, apparently he put a lot of stock in it because he was asked about it by the student newspaper and he fessed up.
All you can do with those emails is make a lot of assumptions. So I don't really put a lot of stock in that. It's an interesting side note. I don't consider it evidence alone. They would have to be some more corroborating things before I would consider that evidence. But that's not the Epstein files, and that's not what they don't want us to see.
There's going to be so much redacted.
That coming out at all.
How much Epstein? What are in the Epstein files? I mean, we got dates, times, monies, exchange. What do we have in there? What do you think we have in there? What do I think we have in there? I don't know.
I don't know what's in there. I would like to see the FBI's investigation. Everything involved with that. That would be something to start with.
Would you like to see J. Edgar Hoover's files and his personal files that
we'll never
were
see
kept?
it.
I would like them to be available so that somebody, I'm not going to sit down and go through them, but if somebody else takes and applies a program where you can search it, then I would go through and look at it.
Yeah, but with Edgar having FBI agents working undercover, inside the Klan, inside Martin Luther King's organization, and having sex with women who were involved in those operations. Would you like to know about that?
If he was the current FBI director, then yeah, absolutely.
He's dead.
Other than that, it's kind of a history lesson, but whether, how current it is has a relevance, we're talking about people who are actively in control of our government right now. That's a little more relevant. If
it comes out that if somebody were to come out and really do a deep dive into the death of John F. Kennedy, or the assassination, and it was determined that Lee Harvey Oswald actually did not, that no gunshot residue was found on his hands following as soon as he was arrested. Do you think anything would come out, and would that make a difference to you?
Are they still possibly children being molested right now by any of those people?
No, but it could be another government involved.
Okay, so once again, it's just the relevance of it.
Well, if another government is involved,
active things that are actively happening now, and you're talking about things that everybody involved did.
Would there be?
I ain't saying that the government cover-up wouldn't be worth it, but if there's somebody who finds a lead to follow. Some investigative reporter or something like that, then it would be an interesting thing to find out about. But this is something that's relevant to happening currently. That we could sort of
Epstein's children are those who are involved are not. They're not being subjected to the abuse, Epstein's abuse, or anybody else's abuse today, right? Epstein's dead. He's beyond him.
Right, but
Yeah.
the people who engaged in that activity are still at large.
Yeah, and Russia's still at large, and the mafia is still at large, and Castro was
Okay,
at large.
man, I mean, if you don't care, I mean, I ain't gonna say you don't. I'm saying if people don't care about that, they may be currently, this ring may still exist with a different pimp. Then I do care about that.
Which do you think is more important? Going back and looking through that to find everything that you can find, or using the same resources to go in and stop the 110,000 Americans who were killed last year, 111,000 the year before with fentanyl overdoses, and all the fentanyl coming from Mexico? Which is more important? This year's 110,000 people.
This is a really big country. Is it possible we could do two things at once?
Well, we haven't. Apparently, we haven't done one of either.
I get it, but you're just trying to rationalize.
No, I'm just trying to prioritize. You tell me which is more important, which is more current, which is more.
Can we not? I know,
active today.
As a country this large, with as many resources as we got, can we not address multiple priorities at the same time? Can we not start with like 1 through 10?
Do we go after just the big guys with all the big bucks, or do we go get the mom and pop their operation at a trailer park? Because we got some in Carteret County. One guy last week, and another one in Craven County.
My guess is just a guess, but I would say let's start with the people who are the most powerful, who are trying to block the accountability.
Yeah, you want to go from the top down. I understand.
Well, you can't prosecute the people at the bottom if the people
Joy
at
on
the
the
top are
telephone.
protecting them.
Yeah, but now in answer to
But anyway, I made my point.
What I'm feeling is what you're talking about, a different ring. It's probable, in my opinion, because it just didn't stop. It's probable.
Yeah, well,
but I see what you're saying.
The thing is, do we go after just the rich people, or do we go after everybody equally?
Well, let me just say something before we go to Joy's phone call. House Speaker Mike Johnson's put out a statement saying he expects a large vote tally when the measure comes to the floor of the Republican-led chamber today. And this is after President Donald Trump called on the Republican lawmakers to approve it. So that it's going to go through the House.
Yeah, it's going to pass.
Then it's got to go to the Senate.
To release it with a snap of a finger.
Do what?
Donald Trump could release these files with a snap of a finger. Just tell Bonnie to release them. He has the ability. He's already been subpoenaed, and they have not complied with the subpoena.
It's all politics.
The oversight committee to release the files. So
we'll have to see.
Him telling the Republicans to vote for it, he could instantly just tell her to release the files, and it's all released.
After Joy, I've got some big news.
Okay.
All right, but thank you.
Thank
guys.
you.
Y'all have a good day.
Joy to the world. How are you?
Good morning, y'all. Good morning.
I didn't wear my thong this morning, Chew.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
He showed us he didn't.
Good to see y'all. And I've eaten at Casey's before. It is good. A couple of times it wasn't so good, but on certain days, right, Timmy?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going
I think
this
it's
weekend.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm not sure, Miss Joy.
Yeah, I forget too. And we think about when
Thanks
we're
a
leaving
lot,
Wilmington,
because I've got to go tomorrow to Wilmington.
Well, it may be.
You need to go. Well, you need to eat so you can turn to the right. If you turn in there coming when you're leaving Wilmington, it's really difficult to get in and out.
It is.
You can do whatever you want to do. But that Epstein file, now they're going to release it, but they're going to stop some of it because they're going to say it's national security. They're not going to release everything. They're going to use the excuse, probably. I'm thinking that some of these things we cannot release because of national security. They've got something in the works, but it's both parties. I agree with you, Lee, with what you're saying there. But you think about it, these young girls back in those years, don't you think one of them would have said something about Trump by now because that's what it's all about.
They got too much. They got too much that they do not want to come up. They do not want every major media, every low-life media. They do not want to be subjected to that abuse. That abuse never goes away. So many of them. I've talked with people who have been abused like that. They do not want to even go to trial. They don't want to face
No.
anybody. They don't want their relatives to know about it. They certainly don't want their husband or future husbands to hear about it. I am surprised that Monica Lewinsky ever had a date that
Really?
became a husband.
Oh,
Exactly. Now, see, we don't. The
What?
funny thing about Americans now, it's we pick and choose. I mean, think about the president of the United States in the Oval Office at that time with Monica. Okay, Democratic. We can go politically that way if we want to. I mean, that was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the leader of our United States of America, what happened there?
He was
bad.
just a weak man. Okay.
Yes. So let's just say associated, and there are probably a lot of very have involvement in that case with Epstein many years ago. And would you think the girlfriend would try to work out some kind of deal also to get? I mean, she has gotten a little bit of treatment by being moved, but don't you think that she would use some type of tactic to get out of what she's in instead of
She's
serving
waiting
that
to write a
time?
book.
Huh?
She's going to have a major amount of money coming in that she doesn't have now once her book is published.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true too. But I just think that they're going to release the files, but some of them they're going to say that's just my personal opinion that we can release such and such because of it involves
Likely.
national security. I might be wrong.
You're absolutely right. I mean, this is it's a cop out. All the way is. Always has been. Always will be. There's certain things we can't put out there. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just do it this way. If you go as a reporter, you know everything is open unless there's a case, an active investigation going on at the police department, right?
Yep.
I want to go and I want to find out about the case of this man, Joe Smith, is charged with rape.
Uh-huh.
What do you think they're going to tell me about the victim? Nothing,
Probably
honey.
the victim's not going to want to release.
Nothing. It doesn't matter what the victim wants. The police
No.
department has a policy. There is no law that prohibits a reporter from revealing that information. Did you know that?
Exactly.
No reporters, no legitimate reporters that I've ever had working for me, working with me, or anybody even working for the competition, we didn't do things like that. We did not release information
No.
about rape victims. We just
No.
did not do it.
But the ones that have come out,
But
the ones that
the
have come
sleaze
out,
bucket reporters out there that work for the National Enquirer, they will do
Yeah.
it in a heartbeat. National Enquirer's tame compared to today's sleaze buckets.
Yeah.
well, just like Prince Andrew, well, he hasn't confessed, but by him stripping his title, that I would see him as guilty. He wasn't a participant.
I do not know whether he's guilty or not. He probably
don't
doesn't.
either.
He just like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't want every low-life excuse for a human being reporter that wants to be coming knocking on my door for the rest of my freaking life or badgering my children or anybody around me. I mean, the position is at stake.
Yes.
There is tradition in the British royalty, right?
Yes.
They don't want anything. You don't believe that? Go on up there and try to mess with one of them guards that's
No.
wearing all that red stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But even if I just wish they would just get on with it and then get it over with, and I mean it's just the same stuff over and over and over and over. I mean, just get it out there, whatever you can get, let it fly. I mean, it's just stupid to keep on and on. But I think, as Lee said again, I want to say it is both parties, not just one.
It's all parties. It's not just the two parties. It's all parties. It's all. It is. Oh, how can we say it? Mankind and womankind. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you. And I'm not going to cast any doubts or anything else, but
No.
quite often in a lot of situations, including in this guy that was arrested, has just been arrested on another case, having relations with a 16-year-old girl.
Yep.
How unwilling do you think she was for all of those different times that he did it?
Right.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, that they did it. He happened to be of an age that's going to get you busted.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She is of an age that got him busted.
After all this time, the way it happened, just It's just all politically, and I just hate it for the victims also. I mean, the jerks that went down there, the guys or whomever that were involved in that. I mean, if you got money, you can do whatever. We that work.
I was right there at that house. I mean, I was within just right there. I mean, I could see it. Was right there with it.
Yeah, and if you're poor and you're a young girl and you're whatever, I mean,
No,
you know,
I was
we're
there.
younger, we don't. Our minds do not think the same way. When we can very easily be
Manipulated,
yes,
Influenced.
but
Yes.
but at sometimes you, dear Joy, may have been the manipulator.
true,
Happens.
true.
It happens.
Yes, it does. But I just, I wish they'd just go ahead and get it out, get it over, and stop talking about it. Let's just,
How about those? How about those female teachers? 23, 25, 40 years of age, and a 16, 15-year-old boy student.
well, just like with the statutory rape deal, let's say the kids are dating. One's 16 and one's of age. Well, they're going to be charged. Well, the people they're dating, they're
Well,
boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, you know, you can.
The statute is a little not confusing, but I don't remember exactly, and it's probably been changed a little bit. But here's the deal: if you are under 18, I think it was, or under 16, and the other person, the male person, is 5 years or older than you are. If he's at least 5 years older than you are, it's going to be statutory rape. If he's 16, if he's 17, if he's 18, he's legal, and you're 15 or 16, is it illegal?
Well, that's what I'm
You don't
saying.
know.
I know
I think
exactly.
17 is.
So there's just. I just wish.
All right,
Look,
the law is there.
Okay.
The law is there and
There's people living
confusing.
in Onslow County that could be charged with
Oh,
statutory
no.
rape today if we want to go back 50 years.
I got a class reunion coming up next year. Just wait and see what I start asking questions about. Okay. Thank you, Joy.
Thanks, Joy.
Good to hear from you, baby girl.
Bye.
Y'all have a good
You
team.
too.
Chevy, miss seeing y'all there. Glad I hope Chris has a good trip, or Kathy, and we're good
Me
having
too.
you back on there again.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, y'all take
Bye.
care.
You too. Well, I've got some
You got
fashion.
something? Give it to me. No more calls, please.
I have got some news for you. This is going back to politics,
Oh,
but
God.
this is local.
I'm going to get some anti-tick
boy.
medication.
Our Carteret County Sheriff, Asa Buck, has announced his
He's gonna run
intentions
for office.
for retiring from as sheriff of Carteret County and to throw his hat in the ring for U.S. Congress District 1.
Now, let me ask you a question. I anticipated this, by the way. As soon as that other stuff you were talking about, you mentioned that. I
yes.
knew that.
Yeah,
I knew that Asa was gonna do
because
this.
one not
Now,
one-
can you imagine, just for a moment, being a man like Asa Buck, who has been a great sheriff, because I've been over there with him a lot in the past,
right?
and doing the work that he had his assembled team to do, especially in the drug community and elsewhere too. Can you imagine what he knows,
Well, I would say
or what he can know?
Very close friend of Greg Murphy. And so I think that probably he's been being schooled for this for now, for the future.
Carteret
whatever.
County used to be the 3rd district, and he probably would not have
Yes.
run against Greg Murphy.
Oh, no, he would not have.
And then he's not going to be sheriff, and he is in the 1st district, and he's pretty well known in the Carteret and surrounding counties.
We all saw this coming. We've been talking
Yes.
about it for a long time, that he would advance
Eventually,
into the world.
I figured he would
politics.
wait for Greg to retire or Dr. Murphy to not run again, and that's when I thought he would.
Well,
do it.
he's no
But
longer
now-
in 3.
But
so.
now that the districting has been changed in Sheriff Buck's favor in this case,
Well, what's interesting
Lots of
now-
luck there. Y'all,
Yeah.
anybody want to run against him?
Now, I will say that there's 4 other people that have already announced their intention to run for that. Bobby Hanig,
They can
I
change their
hope
mind
I'm
in a
saying his
heartbeat.
name right. He's a North Carolina senator, and he's from District 1, and he's announced his intention to run. He's very well liked, very well liked. I just happened to take a peek and look at his
Like,
offers.
feared. Okay.
I just happened to take a peek into his campaign finance. You know, this is money that he's collected through the years as North Carolina
Okay.
senator,
Yeah.
running.
Right.
He's got right now in the bank $35,000 just to start his campaign with.
Mhm.
Another person, Eric Rouse, 53 at Kinston. He's a businessman. He's also the vice chairman of the Lenore County
You
Commissioners.
You are so politically oriented.
And he is talking about running, save your money. Retired Superior Court Judge Jerry Tillett is talking about running also in this race.
He's
And let
got
me
too much
see.
to lose.
Sandy Robertson, who is a leader, who is a 2-term mayor from Rocky Mountain, he's thrown his hat into the ring. I can tell you right now,
What was that?
Sandy Robertson.
Sandy. I thought you said
Sandy
Cindy.
I can tell you right now, with just these that I see, the fight is going to be between Bobby Hanig and Asa Buck. Those are going to be your 2 favored right there.
And it won't be long for A's to get some campaign money. There's a lot of
It's
people.
all-
yeah, he's
He's
well
got
liked.
campaign money left over. Do you not remember that? He's been running for sheriff for a decade.
Take a look.
Why don't you take a look, see how much money he's got in the
See.
bank?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like what.
Oh, no, but
Bobby
it will be in
has.
about an hour and a half if he wants it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that
Yeah,
will support
but
him.
I
There are a lot
tell
of
you
people
what,
outside that district that will support Asa.
I've heard rumors
Yeah.
that
North
one of our
Carolina
elected
Sheriff-
officials was looking
North
at.
Carolina Sheriff's Association,
Yep.
a powerful group of people,
That's
y'all.
right.
But I tell you where the power comes from. That's from your state and federal legislators. If you've got them backing you, then, and I'm sure that North Carolina Senate is probably throwing their hat into the ring to help Bobby Hanig.
I wouldn't bet on that one.
And no, I would bet because I've already heard.
Those to
I've already heard.
those to the west of us, maybe.
I've already heard. He's very well liked in the North Carolina Senate. And I understand that Trump has already endorsed him for this position. Now, along comes Asa. Asa is very close with Greg Murphy. He's hung out in Washington, D.C. He's been to all those things, and I'm sure he will get some great backing from that corner of the neck of the woods.
One of the biggest topics that we discuss and is discussed elsewhere that our state legislature
Exciting.
and that our federal government, those 435 people up there in DC, that they don't discuss a whole lot. And well, they discuss it, but they don't take action about it. It's going to be the illegal importation of narcotics and illegal aliens coming into this country. Who do you think has got more law and order behind him
Asa?
than Asa Buck, as far as
Right.
anybody of those that you're mentioning who are going to run? The judge? Oh, heavens, no.
Let's see what he's got.
No.
He's
The mayor
great.
of what? Rocky Mount? How many murders are in Rocky Mount? We see it all the time. No, not going to happen.
All right. As of June
the senator?
2025.
No. Yeah, how much?
Let's see what he's got in the bank.
Not that he hasn't been collecting since then.
$2,728.64.
Perfect. Good start.
Yeah, Bobby's got 35,000. So
But you're
You better get out there.
equating dollars to votes. It doesn't always
no,
happen like that.
I'm telling
Go
you,
talk to Walter.
I'm telling you, that's like Greg Murphy. I'm sure if I looked up the federal records, he's probably got close to $2 million
Yep.
in his campaign finance.
Just means
Then
he
you
can buy a lot
have
of
these
advertising.
people like Austin Ayers and a couple others that want to run against Greg Murphy. I think George Papastrad is talking about running against him too. I'm not for sure. All right, you have no money in the bank.
You don't have a reputation like Asa Buck has got for
That's right.
more
but
years.
I'm telling
And it
you,
even goes back to his daddy.
if you've got
Just remember all
somebody
that. Remember all that.
like Trump that's going to throw a lot of his people's money into Bobby's pot, where they can do more, get out more, put out more flyers, versus a well-respected sheriff.
Let's
And I'll
just-
tell you, I really
Let's
respect
just wait and
Asa
see
Buck.
what Trump does once he learns that Asa Buck's going to run.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm just saying that
I bet his
when you're
people- I bet his
campaigning,
men on the ground will be saying, Donnie, listen up. You might want to reconsider that. All right, we got to go.
Money
That's my
matters.
cue. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be gone before now, okay? Because I'm going to be on the road at 9:01 tomorrow morning.
okay. Well, you can leave early if you want
I
to.
can do that.
Yeah, we'll just shut everything down.
And lock the doors.
Check and see if they're open tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know.
She claims that they are.
Okay, good.
They're open
She
every
believed
day
her.
but Monday,
Okay,
11 to
change
Tomorrow
9.
is not Monday.
Okay, yeah, tomorrow.
11 to 9.
But I'm glad. Let's go by there and check them out.
Given the opportunity, I will. I'll be real close there.
They even have chitlins on the buffet.
I ain't going to eat that.
They take. Hey, it looks like barbecue.
I don't care
I've
what it
never
looks
seen
like.
them fixed that
All
way.
right.
And I
Okay.
tried them. And they were
I
good.
can tell you the liver and onions looks great until you bite into it. And I don't want it.
I have to go home and watch
Well, I
the
like
U.S.
liver.
House
Well, good for
vote.
you. I'll give you all the.
I like
the cows
liver.
don't
That's
like
good.
liver. Chickens don't like liver. They got rid of them.
I like the gizzard.
We will. Gizzards on chicken.
I love
Good.
chicken
I
liver.
got that. No problem.
Yes.
Ooh, I can do that. All right. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and
Bye.
early, about 7:00, and with more hate and discontent. No doubt about it. 'Cause politics is forever.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
See ya. Thank you, Jimmy. You're live and local real talk where we're awake, not woke, and we'll be woke up and no, we'll be unwoke and awake